So this is the latest movie written and directed by William Nicholson, who hasn't actually directed a ton before, but he has written or co-written quite a few scripts before. The latest being Andy Serkis's Breed from a few years back that I thought was actually pretty good. But earlier ones include things like Everest, Unbroken and Gladiator. So I'd say I was fairly confident that the script here was in good hands. But the real draw for me here was Bill Nighy and Annette Bening. Because I think those two are phenomenal actors, and put them together in a small movie like this, and I just had a feeling it could very well end up working quite well actually. But did it? I would say so, yeah, because they both do a really good job with this. As does Josh O'Connor, by the way, who I recently thought was really good in Emma. But here he plays the adult son of an aging couple, obviously played by Nighy and Bening. And the story here basically follows this couple as they begin to realize that there's trouble on the horizon. That they've had some issues for a long time and that they might not actually be very compatible. And in the middle of it all is this son who comes to visit for the weekend. And he ends up being sort of a mediator between the two of them as they try to work things out. But you know, it's a very simple and quaint little relationship drama, I guess. With basically a cast of 3, and all of them were really good in this and fit their roles perfectly. So you'll get no complaints from me when it comes to the performances, I really enjoyed them. I will also say that the script here is rather tight and focused and doesn't meander too much. But one of the highlights was definitely the dialogue itself, because it's very sharp and witty. In fact, it was one of the more positive surprises for me, as I didn't expect it to be quite that good. But the story itself worked well too, and at times this could be genuinely heartbreaking. It managed to get the emotional stuff right and pretty much nailed it in that department. You really feel for everyone involved, and I at least didn't really take any sides. Well, there's one character I felt for a bit more, but at the same time, I did understand the other characters and their behavior as well. It made sense. And while I didn't necessarily agree with how they behaved and some of the things they did, it was understandable. Which I guess brings me to my only real complaint about this one. And it's not a big one, but I did feel it got a little bit over the top toward the end. A bit melodramatic and theatrical, which didn't necessarily fit with the rest of it, because most of the movie is, as I said, very quaint and toned down. But on the other hand, one of the characters is a lot more melodramatic than the other, so it didn't stick out like a sore thumb either or ruin the experience or anything. It's just something that I would have preferred if they had handled slightly differently. But yeah, overall I really liked this. It's well written and performed. And I don't think there are any real issues with the direction, editing or the pacing either. However, does that mean I would recommend it? Sure, if you like quaint dramas, check it out. And if you don't, maybe skip this one. Or you can do whatever you feel like, because after all, I'm not your dad. But hey, what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a thumbs up or sub to the channel, because that would be fantastic. And if you'd like, you can also support me on Patreon or PayPal through the links in the description. And as always, I appreciate you and thanks for watching.